The Mercedes EQB 350. Firstly, it's an electric car. Now in this video, we're going to go through some very important aspects of an electric car. Is it worth the hype? Is it actually worth that much of fuel that you are going to save? Then is it worth the price? Can South Africa actually handle an electric car with all the load shedding we've been having, and it's going to actually get worse? So the car looks exceptional, it's great on paper, it's stunning, but should you buy an electric car this early in South Africa? Let's find out in this video. As always with Mercedes, you can expect a luxurious look. Just look at that front. I mean, it's absolutely stunning, nothing different from Mercedes. And then look at the wheels, the mags. I mean, it's very, very good. Here you've got a QR code. You can just scan the QR code and find out about the car, all the details you need. Now look at this part. This is what I mean. It's you know, it's something driving an electric car, but I mean, just have a look at this. No petrol goes in. I mean, that's phenomenal. So you've got a charger, but now there's, depending on the kind of charger you have, if you're using a home charger or a charger at a station, it depends on the time. So if you're charging it at a station, it'll probably take you about an hour, but at home it could take overnight, maybe 8 to 12 hours to charge the battery. Looking at the boot, it's quite large, and I wouldn't say for an electric car it's large, because I mean, electric doesn't have anything to do with the boot. Given the fact that it's not an SUV, I'd say the boot is quite big and you can fit a lot of things in there. Here you just press that knob down, you lift up, and there you got your chargers. So you can see there's two chargers. The one on the left there that's the not home charger. That's if you go to you can use a fast charging station. It'll take about an hour, maybe an hour 10 minutes. The one on the right there I just pointed to now, that's your home charger. You take this plug it in, and then you just take the other section and you plug it into the charging station, and then you're good to go. It charges immediately. When I say it charges immediately, I don't mean it's fully charged immediately. It just starts charging, and you can see electric powered tailgate, so that's always awesome. Let's go inside. You know, when you enter the car, it's very, very comfortable. Look at the red stitching, which gives it a classy look. It's got suede material, which actually is exceptionally comfortable. Now suede, depends if you have kids. Some people might not like the aesthetics of it. Maybe it's not as comfortable as leather for some people. It can get messed easily, so that is a downside. But on the upside, it gives a very loungy feel and very exceptional inside, and suede is great. And then if you look here, first I thought it doesn't have bottle holders, but it actually does. Look how neat this is. You press those knobs at the bottom, and there you go, you got cup holders. Very easy to use them. At the back here in the center, you do have two air vents. You also got a non-stick section over there, and you do have a USB port at the bottom. Let's have a look in front. I mean, it looks stunning and normal Mercedes in the front. The EQ range, absolutely beautiful and elegant as always. Enough space. You do have a sunroof on top, which actually looks quite nice. And if you just not scroll down, but head more down to the bottom, you can have a look again at the cabin area. You can see here's a zoomed in view, and I think it looks quite stunning. What do you guys think? You also do have a compartment in the center that is easily opened with the touch of one button. You got two USB ports there, and it is a little bit deep, but on the narrow side. As you're enjoying a few more angles of this absolutely stunning EQB 350, let's talk about the drive. Now, if you haven't driven an electric car before, then it definitely will take some getting used to. If you're a proper petrol head and you like, the feel of the adrenaline feel of a car, you might not get that from an electric car. I actually would term an electric car is not actually a driver's car, if you understand what I'm saying, in terms of, when you press your foot on the pedal, that feel that you get, it's more of a fuel efficient kind of a car. Guys, a very exciting part of this car. Have a look at what the car is doing now. It's driving on its own. Just check here. I'm not touching it. What it's doing at the moment is the car is parking on its own. Now, the older versions of the Mercedes, what happens is you still need to control between drive and reverse. Now what this car does, it does everything from you at the click of a button. So you just find a parking space, you click a button, and it will take you inside. When I did it for the first time, I was so nervous because I wasn't, normally when you're reversing, you're worried now about this thing will test the sensors to its max. So the only thing you'll need to worry about when you're doing this are items or things like branches or poles or something that's too high. So what will happen is the sensors at the bottom will not pick it up. It'll, like if something's stretching from the sky down, I'm not sure what, maybe a tree, like a tree branch that's very raised, and comes from the top down. That's the only thing you need to worry about. But other than that, anything on the ground, it should be fine. Look how it's spinning. I mean, it's absolutely, you know, this is the only time when you really pray that rear sensors, front sensors, all the sensors that the car normally has around it need to work properly. But nevertheless, it did work very well, and we did get into the parking bay. While you're enjoying the last bit of the car, let's quickly talk about the range, and then we'll end this video. So on paper, the range says between maybe 400 to 430 kilometers. I'm not sure in which ideal world that is, but in city driving and normal day-to-day, based on my experience, you would probably be getting between 270 to 300 kilometers. Now on a single charge, that's not much, so I wouldn't term this car a road trip car. It's more suited for day-to-day driving, and considering you are paying 1.3 million rand for the car, so you have to think twice. And if you really want an electric car, take nothing away from the car, it's absolutely phenomenal, but you just got to look at the 1.3 million versus what you're actually saving. Guys, that's it for this video on the Mercedes EQB 350 electric car. Is it too early in South Africa for a car like this? Considering all the load shedding, it might be, but nevertheless, to own an electric car still will definitely save you a lot on petrol. You wouldn't have to be filling up at the petrol stations, and even though Eskom's prices are going up that much, electricity at the moment is still cheaper than petrol. Until next time guys, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in next week's video.